European friendly, more European friendly than usual. So I'm going to stream for like an hour and a half, maybe not even that long. Karen's in Boston. She's moving her son Holden into MIT. Excuse me, and she'll be back on Sunday. My daughter's starting Wayne State University on Wednesday, but she's going to stay with her mom. She's not going to live on campus. Yeah, Wayne State campus isn't the safest campus in the country. It's not the most dangerous either. Or is it? No, but yeah. But yeah, she only lives like 15 miles from the school. So save money on a dorm, I guess. And food, and so forth. And she'll see her cat. So I'm going to do commentary. Not commentary. I'm going to do a recap of the round 9, which was yesterday, the last round of the Sinquefield Cup. All 5 games were drawn, but I'm still going to analyze them because they were interesting. A couple were really interesting, and a couple were not. Yay, that noise made. That means people can watch now. Red. Let's see, how's my phone doing? 82%. I was going to guess 2%. I thought my phone turned into milk. All right. One time I had a dream that my phone, look, it was there, and then I turned away and looked back, and it was Karen. So that was good. And usually when my phone's at either 1% or 2%, I say that my phone turned into milk. But since it turned into Karen in my dream, it turned into MILF. So that was great. Chantilly Atlantic Open had a pretty opening. Trying to learn, trying to win. Wiggle and a walk and a giggle and a talk. Lord, make his night go round, round, round. Nothing in the world like a big-eyed trying to learn. His moves are funny, don't win any money. Feel real loose like a potser goose, like a girl. Oh, baby, that's what I like. Also, etc. If somebody make a video out of that, put a marker there. Yay, subscribed. What a scrub. All the percents. That's right. It's been. Hey, Thaddeus. Hey, trying to learn. Hey, Arsenal. Hey, Scrub. Hey, Slanderous Mambo. Hey. Yeah. So, yeah, Guten Tag. So, the guy who donated the money, that was a real donation. So, that was good. And he's been to our club and so forth. We figured out who it was. He was mildly surprised we figured out who it was. I don't think I've met him, but he played in the same section as Karen one tournament. So he might be here tonight. He's played in our Blitz tournament. Yeah. Not Gluten Tag? Tog? Not Gluten Tag Hooer? Hoyer? Oh, it's Hoyer. That's right. Yeah, back in the 70s and 80s, there was this great chess clock, the Hoyer. It was beautiful. It had red buttons, not the person. And it was like metallic, and it was from Switzerland, I think. And the only weird thing was the flag. The flag had it was strange, the flag. You never knew if your flag was going to fall. It's before digital timers. And it's a collector's item now. That clock costs like $500 to $1,000 now. But I think it was like $80, in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, that was a cool looking clock. David RV00 subscribed. Hooray. Yeah, good evening. The hype train is close, it says. Come on, hype train. Yeah. Stockholm is the gluten-free capital of the world. Wow. But the thing is, a lot of people get kidnapped there. So the gluten is free, but the people aren't. It leads the world in kidnappings. Ergo, Stockholm Syndrome. Etc. The gluten syndrome, no. Yep. I mean, that's every clock. So Stuart Rachels was playing Danny Edelman in the 1987 U.S. Open, and it was between rounds 8 and 11. It was one of the later rounds. And Stuart lost on time, and he claims to this day that they were in time trouble, and Danny Edelman hit, this was just a regular analog clock. I don't know what kind of clock it was. It might have been a guard day. And Danny Edelman hit the clock so hard, it caused his flag to fall, but he still had a minute left. And there was a rule in the rule book that said if there was a space, a white space between the hour and the hand, that the flag doesn't count as falling. Then that's just a flag malfunction. And he complained about it, but they didn't overturn it. He lost, but he claims he shouldn't have lost on time. The guy hit the clock so hard his flag fell. But okay, we don't use analog clocks very much anymore. But I mean, I won 2 chess games because of analog clocks. I won on time against. Yay! Thanks for the $5, Jonathan. Yeah. I lost on time. I won on time against Elvest in the World Open when he was like +1, +1.2, and his time ran out on move 40. And same thing with Julian Hodgson. In Canada in the 1994, I think, Canadian Open, definitely in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Not sure if it was 94. It's either 94 or 95. I won on time on move 40. His flag fell, and he was like shocked, like my flag fell. And he had mate in 3. Just checkmate, but his time ran out. So I've won a couple of games because of analog clocks. I also beat Anatoly Lane on time with an analog clock, but he was losing anyway, and it was move 32 to move 40, so he was going to lose on time no matter what. But he was shocked he lost on time, even though, he was obviously going to lose on time. Wait, why did the what's happening? Why did a hype train start and nothing happened? What? It said okay. It says it's at 94%. That's exactly 3 subs because this has happened before, and I see 2 subs. What's happening? What? I don't understand. Let me see what Streamlabs has to say about this. Oh, he gave 500 bits. Well, wait, that was after. No, that was after. He gave a sub. I don't understand why the train started. I got 2 subs. What? All right, somebody can explain it to me. It's a ghost train. That's right. I thought he was killed by who killed the ghost train? Was it Million Ants? Yeah, I think Million Ants killed the ghost train, right? This was the other way around. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, people of the world join in. It's a ghost train. Ghost train. Yeah. Thanks for the 500 cent to dues. I think that was Jimbo. Yep. I know one story by Vichy, his wife. Someone, what does your husband do? She said he plays chess. I says, no, I meant, what does he do to make money? Right. Yeah, actually, Boris Spassky played in the 1985 U.S. Open in Hollywood, Florida. And he was on a shuttle bus from the airport to the hotel. And some guy was talking to him, and he said, like, what do you do? And Spassky says, I was the world chess champion, and I played a famous match with Bobby Fischer in 72. And the guy said, oh, yeah, but what do you do for a living? I mean, even knowing that, he was the world champion, it still filled him up with ants. Yeah. Any plans for birthday stream? I'm going to stream on my birthday. That's the plan. Yeah, we'll be flying back from Michigan. Then we're visiting my family there. Karen, Archer, and I are flying up to Michigan for Labor Day weekend. It's funny that my birthday's on Labor Day, but that makes sense. My mom was in labor. So. X-Oil subscribed. Former muscle. Good. My birthday's 9/6/69. 999. Or just 9669. Etc. Mainly, etc. Let's see, who else is streaming? Rufus and Doofus. So I'm going to be doing commentary for the U.S. Championship. That's in St. Louis in October, and they're going to give me some. I don't know what's happening, but they're talking to me about like I have to learn some more technology because they're gonna. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be more involved than just doing commentary. I'm going to be like somebody important, but that's ridiculous. I told Karen I was somebody important, and she said, "Ish, don't think so." Finally, she spoke German. The only other time Karen speaks German is when I say, "Hey, you want to go upstairs?" And she says, "Nein." So that's all I got. More. Nobody likes me. More. Actually, it's mo. But Starland Vocal Band, they're terrible. That was another joke. That was Afternoon Delight, I guess, is their song. That's right. Spencer's birthday is 6/9, and he was born in Europe, and I'm 9/6, and I was born in the U.S. Confusing the audience. Yeah. When I play in the Olympiad, what do I play for Kenya? You can't prove I was born in Kenya. I was born in Hawaii. You can't. Come on. Okay, let's do it to it. Fractions, that is. Whoa, what did I just click? Damn, just ruined everything. We're going to look at the new post from Chess Boyd. Huh, interesting. Well, I am bad, but if I use an engine, then I'm less bad. So that's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I sent the Olympic Committee a picture of Karen, but it was only from like the waist up, and they wanted to put her in the pair Olympics. I'm supposed to be working with somebody in PogChamps, but I haven't been assigned anybody yet, so probably not. I guess they had so many people like better than me that wanted to coach the PogChamps people. I wasn't there. Delicious. Cassie Boss subscribed. Good. Damn, I forgot about Dre again. Yeah. No, it's not sarcasm. I would be coaching somebody, but that didn't happen. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the games. This game, unfortunately, they played a known draw, which is weird for Mamedyarov, not for MVL. MVL's black. A draw means he's clear first or ties for first. That's pretty good. Mamedyarov not trying to win with white is, I don't know, weird. I don't know. Xiong, SC Wang subscribed to tier 2. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I can't sugarcoat you because I'm vegan. Have to be, some kind of sugar that's vegan. Terrible. I don't know if I can ask political questions here. Can I? I don't know. Can you? Yeah. That pair joke. It's chess coach. Okay. Yeah, that's why Karen got so interested in poker and we played a lot because she always started the hand with top pair. So, she has an advantage over the other players. Okay, they played a Grunfeld, which actually both players play, but MVL's black. He plays it more than Shakhriyar does. And they played this main line with Rook B1 that I used to play. This was actually like my main, you get the rook off. Yeah. So I used to play this, and this was my main line, and I got sued to not play it as my main line, and I actually had to settle out of court, so I stopped playing it. Terrible. You know who sued me? Gucci Mane. He was like, he said Mane was I couldn't understand it. I told him I was just horsing around. All right. Okay, so he castled. And I've had this position. You can play queen d2 or bishop d2, but bishop d2 is by far the most common. Yeah. So white sacrifices a pawn, and black loses a lot of tempi with his queen, gives up the center, and doesn't develop his pieces. So it's about equal. Black does have a passed pawn. Played a game in Vegas against the 2300, and I had this position, and he did this really quickly. I thought I was going to lose, but I ended up winning. But I was really scared. You know, and when people get scared, you know, from Detroit, that's when people get shot. So we're all going to be like little Fonzies here. And what's Fonzie? Cool. Correctamundo. All right. Bishop g4, that's one of the main lines. You're putting pressure on d4, giving this away, etc. Anyway, this is all just known theory. It's nothing new here. Yeah, e5, because then you unleash the latent potential of the bishop. And now we're threatening bishop here, attacking this and this and this and this. And did it like this. Did it like that. I did it with the wiffle ball bat. Where did we eat? She can't tell by looking at the food. Come on. I like the way I texted Karen all day, ignored. Then I said, hey, I'm streaming soon. Now 1,000 texts. Killed some time, had some fun. All right. That's right. All right. Karen texted me that she wants to go pee. She wants to go home. Oh. I thought she was sleeping. All right. And Wesley So has never won a game against Yo Mama. Yeah, I've never won a classical game against Mamedyarov either. You know. Yeah. All right. Okay. So black played the only move according to the engine. White's winning by force here unless black plays the only move. Knight a6. And that's because the knight can't go here, it's hanging. It can't go here, it's hanging. And if I move my rook away, you're going to lose your rook. So knight a6, the rook is protected. Okay, rook takes, threatening the rook. Rook d8. e6. Rawr. And this has all been played 1,000 times. Yeah, queen e1. Knight c5 defending e6. Knight d3. And then they sack their queen, and they play perpetual check. Yeah. And the reason we have to play rook d7, if we move the rook anywhere else, in this position, then rook takes bishop. So if you play any other rook check anywhere, then rook takes bishop is going to be winning, I guess. This position, maybe white can draw. Maybe. Yeah, probably this is a draw also, but why would white want to be a pawn down instead of just perpetual check? So this is also a draw, but okay, this isn't like they were thinking a long time. They both moved instantly every move. This is just a known draw that some GMs do. It's like the queen e4 draw in the Berlin. It's just a known quick draw where they pretend they're playing but they're not. Boo, boo. All right. As a consequence of this game, Rex Sinquefield decided not to give MVL his prize money because he made a mockery of the tournament. Man, the truth hurts. When they told MVL, he said, "Non, c'est pas possible." And then Rex said, "Désolé." Yeah. I wish there was a way in French to say the truth hurts, but I don't think there is. etc. Dun, 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 dun. La vérité fait mal, c'est pas bon. What's this? Ilniak? Man, Ilniak, that's already wrong. Man, that's like you're speaking French from a textbook. You got to be kidding me. French never say any of that stuff. They just go blah, and that's it. They don't, Yeah, anything that you learned in French in school, if you're not French, if you're like American, that's not what they do. Yeah, they got slang all over the place. You know how we say yeah instead of yes sometimes? They say wah instead of oui. Oui, c'est vrai. Incroyable, oui? No. What's the best Greek food? It's all good. Yeah, I was asking what all these foods were because it was all Greek to me. So I didn't know. Yeah. Is this saying? Oh, it's a saying. Wah. Yeah, I thought this little kid was crying. I was playing chess with him and he kept blundering. I was in France. And I thought I was getting in a lot of trouble. I thought the parents were going to be mad. But he wasn't going, wah, wah. He was going, wah, wah. Like, yeah, you're crushing me. Yeah. Truth hurts. And so forth. Greek food gift. All right. Enough of my borax Poindexter. We need action. Speaking of not much action, Wesley So versus Dominguez. Yeah, this is like Saturday night for you guys. Not much action. Frankly, delicious. Yeah, the truth hurts. By the way, there's a lawsuit and a countersuit with me and Lizzo about the truth hurts. So, and I think chess coach Ned is going to countersuit. And also, there's a lot of countersuits going on right now in federal court with me and Eric Rosen, right? And the judge thought it was sort of silly, and he actually ruled against both of us. And we were like, what? And he said, oh no, my verdict. So, the judge is going crazy over there. All jokes today were made up on the spot. And I'm not kidding. So far. Yeah. Oh no, my queen. You saw Lizzo's butt at the Lakers game? So you mean you couldn't see the game because her butt was in the way? Yeah, true story. It's funny. I saw her at the Lakers game too, and her date was Sir Mix-a-Lot for obvious reasons. Yeah. Also, if you didn't know this, sit down. Oh, wait. Oh, you're done? Lizzo's a vegan. God damn. I thought I was the biggest vegan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but kangaroo, that's an old joke. Terrible. Jokes and spaghetti. Okay, here's Wesley. And Wesley was very disappointing this game because if he wins, he could get clear first or tie for first. And in this position, he took on c5. No! That's like the most boring move. Okay. Now, white can play for an advantage, but Wesley, I think, didn't want to get an advantage. So, yeah, bishop e2. Come on. All right. So, in the engine says white's slightly better, but that's hard to believe. Yeah, Wesley retreats his bishop, retreats his knight. This is just equal. Okay. Now, in this position, normally, when I was doing commentary in the game, I was explaining after b5, we play like knight here, and knight to a5, which is what Wesley did with the other knight. But since Wesley played knight c3, after b5, you can't play the knight to b3. And also, if a4 happens, you can play b4. If you play knight bd2, he's not going to play b5 because of a4. Then b4 gives up all these squares and makes the bishop silly. And a5 separates the pawns. And it lifts and separates. Yeah. So actually, this was played by Karen before. And I was like, why did you do this? And she said it lifts and separates. Okay. Man, that joke was the best joke I ever told. Okay, top shelf. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll nipple that in the bud, and we'll keep going. B5, knight D2, knight B3. Yeah, the knight BD7 surprised me. I always assumed they play bishop B6 in these positions, which is okay. And then I guess they would play A4, A5. But he just went here because, white's losing a lot of time. Bishop here, knight here, knight here, knight here. So, and this bishop's not the greatest bishop of all time. Now, I would take that bishop, but Wesley played knight A5, which is also reasonable. Then he gave him the other bishop. He's got two bishops, one for each of you. Yeah. In fact, Karen used to date a guy. Okay, never mind. And I would have taken that bishop, but, he always plays the most passive move. Okay, knight E4. I mean, the engine still says white's better, but you got to be kidding me. Yeah. Always repeat. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, retreat. We treat. I got to leave for a second. I got to take a wicked yes. Okay. Good joke from Family Guy. Take. Yeah, I mean, it's just boring. Okay. And somehow Wesley got a tiny little advantage. Tiny little advantage. And it was funny. Whenever I analyzed chess with Karen, she was like, I want to get a big advantage. And I said, tiny little is better. And she said, we were in bed last night. You said the same thing. Tiny little advantage. That's what you want. Okay. So he took on A4, which opens up the rook. And now Wesley played an excellent move. He played bishop takes A6. That's correct. Rook C7. Now it looks like it's just boring. Rook takes. Maybe black's better. But Wesley found the only move to keep some pressure, bishop C3. Now these pieces seem weird, but this is defended. This is attacked. This is semi-attacked. Yeah. That's another thing I was telling Karen is if you can't attack something, you could semi-attack it. And she's like, semi? You were saying that in bed last night too. And I was like, come on, stop. What did I do? You subscribed, but no message came. The baby Yaga 92. Let's see. I got Alt F4 Pro, Xiong. Yeah, it doesn't say you subscribed. Is that it? No, that's money. $10. Hooray, always repeat. Ricky doesn't win the bishop? No, because this bishop defends this knight. So if you attack my bishop, I'll move it away. Yeah. I could also play rook takes A4, attacking your bishop. But this knight's defended, so you can't skewer. Yeah. Let's see. The semi-joke went over your head. What are you, a child? Damn. That's right. Karen flew to Boston, so. Okay. Let's see if she's texting me about, the divorce papers she's sending me. All right. I'm good. It ain't over till it's over. Sammy Hagar. That's right. Unfortunately, Van Halen. Yeah. Okay. What about Bishop B4? I don't know. That hangs this pawn. Do you guys realize white has a threat? No? All right. So he played bishop d6, which is the best move. It's probably the only move that retains equality. a3 is interesting, but this is just an excellent move because it gives the knight the c5 square. And it stops all kinds of tricks white has with bishop here later. So the knight's free to move. And, I mean, that's just an excellent move, seeing that he wants to play knight c5. Yeah. Frankly, great. Okay, always play bishop f1. Oh, he took this. The engine wants to play bishop f1 here. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. Also f3. Boo, boo. But bishop f1's better. Bishop f1 was his last chance, I think, to get an advantage. But, you know, pawn's a pawn. Then he forked these guys. And Wesley played bishop b4, which was why he played rook takes a4. The complications are aplenty. Yeah. And unfortunately for Wesley, who had some good winning chances, I think, in this mainly drawn position, Domínguez found his way out here. He played, the engine recommended bishop to d5. Of course, this bishop is hanging in a lot of variations. Now, you can't play knight takes a4 because rook takes c7 wins immediately. Then black resigns. If you take this, then I take everything. This, and this. And white's just up a pawn. So that's, you know, fine. And as Irina Crush pointed out on the stream, I thought this won the pawn back, but she pointed out this move wins. And if you attack the rook, I can just check you here. Or, well, I can't check on e5 because of here. Yeah, I guess rook d4 is the only winning move. Yeah, that's the only move that wins, but it does win. So the pawn's indirectly defended. All right. So Wesley thought when he took here, knight c5, bishop b4, he was looking good. And the main reason he's looking good is there's always this rook takes e4 after something like knight a6. So he played bishop d5, which, you know, makes the knight sort of silly on a5, stops rook takes e4, and now if it was black's move, knight takes a6 would win. So he played bishop f1, always play bishop f1. And yeah, white can't win here because bishop's attacked and everything's pinned and this is weak and this is trapped and this all makes sense now. So even though white is a pawn up, he has no advantage. I mean, black has too many threats. He's threatening the rook right now, and you can't move the rook because rook takes b4. If you captured the rook on the previous move after bishop f1, then again you're losing immediately. But after rook c8, sorry about stuttering there. I should have said rook 7 c8. Yeah, I'm all 7s and 8s today. Now there's only one move for white. Although the engine says knight a4 is a move. God damn. Or knight c4. It's still a draw, but that's crazy. The idea is if you take the rook, I have this check. I mean, I'm not doing that because you can take the knight and then the rook's hanging. Okay, but it's still a draw. All right, so he played here. Rook takes. And this is just a dead draw. This pawn's hanging. If black gets his pawn back, black's obviously better with his two bishops and the knight on the side of the board. This pawn can't really be protected. So Wesley bailed out into the opposite colored bishop ending. And now he's threatening the bishop. But after bishop d6, the only way to protect the pawn is here, and this wins the pawn. So the game was sort of balanced throughout with Wesley having a slight advantage, but Domínguez figured out what to do, and they drew. Wesley didn't try super hard to win, but he made sure he had no losing chances. So Wesley had 2 wins and 7 draws, as did Domínguez. Also 2 wins and 7 draws. Yeah, my son is also bored. The Baba Yaga 92 subscribed, even though he claimed he already subscribed. Hooray. Put it in A. That means something else. You're a Brazilian fan? How many are you? What's a Brazilian? Always play bishop f1. Why not bishop takes g7? Bishop takes g7 would be shallow and pedantic earlier in the game because at some point, like now, rook g8 attacks the bishop, and then you got a g2 problem. Yeah, so you don't want that to happen. Yeah, frankly, terrible. So bishop g7 was never really on the agenda because of rook g8. Other problem with bishop g7, assuming I'm not winning, is black could probably trap the bishop, and the bishop's going to stay like on this side of the board the rest of the game, and this pawn's going to be weak, and But yeah, rook g8 is sufficient to prevent that. All right, so next. That's right, trying to draw. 500 viewers to do. Hi, viewers to do. Okay, Svidler, Jeffery. Jeffery played very enterprising / bad chess. H6 is a little weird. A4 is a little weird. And then G5. God damn. Yeah, that didn't work out for Jeffery. I mean, G5's okay. But H4 is a really good move, putting the test to the pawn there. And actually, every knight move is good, because the knight can go to D2 and here, or it can go here. And I mean, there's not really a safe place for the king, so Jeffery just never castled. But this didn't achieve, what he wanted it to achieve. Probably a better idea, which I don't think was possible this game, was to wait for white to castle and then play G5. If white hasn't castled yet, I think this idea is shallow and pedantic. Okay, knight e7 is also a strange move. Yeah. So this position is just really bad for black. It was big advantage for white. Pawn structure, terrible. Weak d6 pawn. 2 bishops, what else? This bishop not good. The king's not good. More space in the center. This knight can easily go to f5 or attack this pawn. e5. It's a very bad position for black. Okay, Jeffery played queen e7, which is engine approved. And bishop takes f6, Arena and I didn't like. It's fine, white's still better, but I think it's too early to cash in. I think white should do something to improve his position. King b1, knight f1, even f3, but never play f3, so that you can try to win a pawn or get the open g file. Bishop b3, so the bishop is safe. Yeah, I think this is too early. You shouldn't give up your bishop here so willy-nilly. In this position, Jeffery went on a strange journey, which I don't understand, I don't agree with, and I vehemently disagree with it. Right? And, vehemently is a word not only do you not know, but if you do know, you still can't spell it. And if you're in the chat saying, I know vehemently, no, you don't. You don't know anything. The one thing you should know how to do is donate. You don't know how to do that either. There's one guy who knows how to do it. Mm-hmm. Why king b1 exactly? What did I deserve to get this flat, flavorless Manhattan? Why king b1? Ugh. Terrible. Pineapple's the best. If you don't think so, you're banned. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. That's why king b1. God damn. Man, you spell vehemently worse than you spell carburetor. The only way to spell carburetor correctly is to go look it up and then copy and paste it. Yeah, if you're like, oh, I can spell carburetor. No, you can't. Terrible. You spelled it wrong on purpose, and it was still, better than most people. Yeah. It's a very famous song by Jim Croce. Carburetor, oh, could you help me fix this car? Da, 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 da. I was driving it lately. Da, 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 da. Thank you for your time. You've been so much more than kind. The mechanic said I owed him 10 dimes. Da, 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 da. Good joke, you know what a dime is. Car and burrito is correct. God damn. No, I don't like the blues. That's why I made the board not blue. How is that an English word? I still spelled it wrong. Nobody spelled it correctly in the chat yet. I mean, most people are kidding, but the ones who aren't kidding are also spelling it wrong. Yeah. You know what a dime bag is? That's different. I mean, like when you bet a dime on a game. Yeah. You literally looked it up. Yeah. Yeah, Bert 8800 is correct. Yeah. What am I drinking? The tears of all the opponents I've checkmated. And also, some of Scott Tenorman's tears are in here too. They're delicious. Thanks, Cartman. Okay, so he took with the bishop, which is correct. And now I was shocked and appalled by the move that he made. Also, his move's terrible. He should either take this and mess up the pawns, or take this and keep his lovely bishop. And he took this. And I was shocked. That's not a move I would even consider. Frankly, it's terrible. Yeah. Now white's winning because this is such a bad move. Ugh, God, why you activate the rook and put your bishop on a dumb square? Okay, so knight e3 is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Bishop f6 is correct. It's important in chess to go here, 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 and then have a bad pawn structure and weaknesses everywhere, and your king's in the center. That's important to do that. Queen d2, which is okay, but again, he's trying to cash in too early. He shouldn't be thinking about queen here and takes. That's not what he should be thinking about. He should be thinking either RBs. No, he should play g3, f4, or he should play rook e1 and try to play knight f5 or knight d5. Yeah, queen d2 slow. h5, I was, again, shocked by such a move. King b1, always play king b1. h4, also mildly surprising. Rook he1. Okay, so white's doing pretty well. Bishop g5 is forced. Now, before, when Crush and I were doing commentary, we were looking at this. And the problem is if you pin the knight and I castle, f4 doesn't win because I'm threatening your queen. In fact, black wins now. So that's why Svidler played rook he1. He's threatening knight f5, which does win if you take it. If you don't take it, even better, because then you're getting Irina crushed over there. Okay, so bishop g5 pinning the knight. That's the correct move. And once again, was it this position? No. He played bishop e3, which is okay. Not the best move. Queen d4 is pretty logical. e5 is a good pawn sack because it's sort of like Steinitz's d5 in the game from Hastings 1895, because you give yourself the e4 square for your knight, which is really good, and you try to open up the e line. So e5 is actually the best move. Yeah, knight e4, queen d3. Yeah, and this is tough for black because everything's good. Yeah, very bad position for black. He played bishop. He played bishop e3. I thought, I can't read. I was elected to lead, not to read. Oh, he did play queen takes. Yeah, this is a very bad move. So every time Svidler cashed in, he was more like phoning it in, giving up the bishop pair to win a pawn, which he didn't win, and then trading queens when this king is terrible and it's never going to be safe. He needed to go forward in the center, but he wanted to cash in. But yeah, now black's knight is great. The king is safe. Two bishops. This is probably a draw with correct play now. Queen takes d6 was terrible. Yeah, h3 is good. Great move. Yeah, activate all of his pieces. Two bishops. King is perfectly safe. The knights have no entry squares. Okay, black has good prophylaxis. Right? Now, Jeffrey's 20, so a lot of what he's thinking about other than chess is prophylaxis. Okay. Knight f5. Always play knight f5. Rook d8. Excellent. Get rid of white's only good piece. Hides his king. I don't like that move, but I do like hiding the king. But I don't like that move. Jeffrey sacks another pawn, which I thought was crazy. But then he played the amazing bishop c8. Not to attack the knight, which it does, but to play rook h2 with tremendous counterplay. And I showed this position to Trump, and I said, what do you think of black's counterplay? He said, tremendous. He said, a lot of people are talking about black's counterplay. So there you go. Eric is a real person subscribed. Good. The longer I'm subscribed, the more money you get. Eric is a real person. That sounds very familiar. Wink. All right. Xiong. What Xiong said it was a good one. I can't read the chat. I'm making too many jokes. Queen d4 is a good move. There's nothing wrong with it. Have you ever played Kasparov? I have not. Okay. Knight c5. The engine prefers rook g1, attacking the bishop, which he did later. And then he played rook g1. Never play f6. No, he played f6. Okay. And now Svidler wanted to get active, so he sacrificed a pawn. Because this pawn's probably going to be lost anyway. It's hard to protect it. This rook is great. Bishops are great. Knight is great. These pieces are all shallow and pedantic. They can't go anywhere. The engine doesn't like f4, but it's a pretty human move. If you want to be like a baby, which isn't bad, then you could play knight d1. Defends the pawn, but the knight is obviously very bad on d1. So he decided not to do that because knight's terrible there. So he played f4, got his rook active. And then bishop e3 is just, during the game I was like, okay, maybe Svidler will win. But bishop e3, then I knew it was going to be a draw. That move is so good. Attacks the knight, defends the a pawn forever. So there's none of this business that I thought was going to happen. I thought Jeffery would move his bishop, and then the a pawn's defenseless. It was sort of like Karen on her third date. There's no way to stop from getting crushed. Terrible. Okay, so this is an excellent move, and now it's just a draw. Yeah. Now you got to be kidding me now. I don't think white's better here. I'd rather have black here. Two bishops, what else? Threats everywhere. Yeah, and white has nothing. If Svidler was Indian, which he might be because he loves cricket, he would have Vishwa nothing. Terrible. Let's see. Where's my Vishwa nothing? I haven't used that in a while. Man, I can't even find it. That's how often I use it. I can't imagine liking cricket. I can't. Can you beat Kasparov today? Let me see if I could hit him over the head with a bottle. Yeah. I can always beat Kasparov, but I'm not the favorite. Anybody can beat anybody. I've played Anand many times. Many times. Many. I have played Capablanca. Yeah. I couldn't see him because he was the invisible Capablanca. All right. Yeah, the plates, I got to move 5 feet. I'm not doing that. It's funny, there's paper plates on top of that plate. That's funny. Okay, so they found a repetition, draw by reputation. Attacks the a pawn, check. Attacks the a pawn, check, draw. Always repeat. Yeah, white's not better here at all. King is great, bishop's great, rook's great. Pawns are defended. Knight has nowhere good to go. Knight's defending this pawn. Yeah. So a draw was a fair result. Yeah, but Jeffery was much worse and or lost the whole game. He defended well, and I think Svidler's bishop f6 was bad and queen d6 was very bad. Never cash in. Hold it. Hold it until, I don't know. Let's see. Go MVL. 500 centidues. Hey, farty party. What's between check and checkmate? I'm supposed to make a joke now, I guess. You got to know when to hold them. Yeah. Man, I was on the second date, I was like, come on, Karen. And she said, you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. I was like, damn. Terrible. Let's see if Karen's texted me. She has. That's barely funny trying to learn. Barely. Memory palaces. I did go to the Palace at Auburn Hills to see, Pistons. And I also saw... I might have seen David Bowie and Nine Inch Nails there. That might have been the Silver Dome. I think it was the Palace. Definitely saw the Pistons play at the Palace. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. What's the difference between mate and checkmate? What? R.I.P. the Palace, R.I.P. the Silver Dome. Isn't Bishop takes knight and Rook takes e4 winning? It's better for white, if that's what you meant. But black's down a pawn and has a pawn hanging with check. So if you did this, then black's in a lot of trouble. Black's losing. Yeah. Also, after this, that might even be better. Because after king takes, rook here check is going to equalize. But yeah, now white's better because white's a pawn. It's a draw, but after here I can actually win your a pawn, get a past a pawn. So the answer is fries. All right, yours. So next, this game I thought was pretty. I don't want to say equal, balanced. That's the word. Pretty balanced the whole way. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Svidler's older than me, except he's not. Svidler's like 45, 46. Jeffery Xiong is a genius. What do you want? Every game's a draw. Okay, now for some reason, I won't say who it was. I won't say it was Kavutsky. Damn it. Yeah, forget that I said Kavutsky, because I don't think it was him. So we'll say Kostya. Oh, wait. Anyway, Kavutsky, when he writes the wrap up for the round on the St. Louis Chess Club, information that you get an email and a website, he said this game was drawn and it was a Catalan. It's not a Catalan. Yay! Occam Sock'em Robot. 1,000 centidues. I can't read what that says, but I can go to Streamlabs. Could you tell us about your Discord? Do you give out free t-shirts with your handsome face on it? I don't know what Discord is. I just know you joined Discord. I don't understand Discord at all. Now, the world's leading authority on Discord is my stepson Holden, who's going to MIT. He knows everything about Discord, even stuff that's not known. He knows the unknowns. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. That's how much he knows. You know what I mean? Yeah, join Discord. People in the chat will explain Discord. Now, normally I would shave, but I don't have Occam's razor. I just have the Occam Sock'em bot. So if only I had his razor. Damn. Could I beat you with my left hand? Man, Cameron would be furious if I did that. Yeah. Would Hans Niemann do better? No. That's funny. Just a second. I don't know if I can stream anymore. That was like when the Bowie joke was told about Raquel Welch and the Pope, and the priest couldn't stop laughing. He's like, just a second. Oh man, I'm gonna tell Spencer that. That's hilarious. Chess Dojo Live is rating after I was dissing Kavutsky nonstop. How did he know? Can Hans be top 10 in the U.S.? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe, but I doubt it. Yay! It's Spencer. It's Kieran. Yeah. Yo, go dojo. Yeah. Not in this dojo. There's no mercy in this dojo. And so forth. You guys who only watch the internet, you think Hans Niemann is good. Damn. Harsh. It's funny. Hans can be top 10 in Alabama. I guarantee it. Now, it's probably more likely Hans will be top 10 in the U.S. than Alabama, because being top 10 in the U.S. means that he improves a lot. Top 10 in Alabama means he moves to Alabama. I don't think Hans Niemann is moving to Alabama. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. Are there 10 chess players in Alabama? Yes. Now, there's a rule in Louisiana, Oklahoma, Alabama, Mississippi, and Arkansas. It's the 5-state rule. The USCF says you don't have to keep notation for any rated tournament because like 70% of the people are illiterate. So they just said, okay. And so if you go to one of those tournaments and you're from out of state, you actually have to keep notation, but the people who are in state don't. Okay. And what's funny is not only are the people who play there in state, they're also inbred. It's hard to understand. Okay. And that's like 2 jokes. Mm-hmm. There was a terrible hurricane in Arkansas. Arkansas. There too? Man, lots of hurricanes. Or tornadoes, whatever the joke was. Yeah, that's the yeast of your problems. Yeah. Are there 10 chess players in Wyoming? Maybe. I met the best chess player in Wyoming. In fact, I played him. Yeah, I forgot that I played him. I played him in the senior tournament. And I thought he was next to me, but he was also in front of me. We were playing. He's by far the best player in Wyoming. He's 2080 or 2090. Yeah, he's way better than anybody else. Way better. Yeah. Etc. What game did I play him? Chess. Yeah. Okay, so he wrote this was a Catalan. This is not a Catalan. In the Catalan, you don't see C6. In the Catalan, you see D4. So I don't know. I guess if you do that, he thinks it's Catalan. It's not a Catalan. No, you can't call it a Catalan. It's nothing like the Catalan. Okay, so this is, some kind of rady or not. Here I come. I've had this position black against Doug Eckert in St. Louis. I think this position too. I don't think Doug played A4 though. I don't think he did. Okay. So I was thinking bishop D5, E4, H6 was theory, but since this pawn, I don't think that is theory. I think queen D6. He was playing instantly Świercz, so this is just prep, I guess. So black's up a pawn, and black's going through contortions to defend the pawn. That actually reminds me of my 5th date with Karen. Yeah, going through contortions to defend. Okay, so E4, which is a very anti-positional move, but it really does control D5. And he wants to play E5, and he wants to, advance his pawns on the king side. Bishop G4. Queen D3 is an interesting move, but then black has the worst pawn structure ever. G6 is interesting to play bishop G7, but he played these moves instantly, so this is just his preparation. Okay, he gave his pawn back, and then played E5. Doesn't want his bishop on E6. He wants to play E5. So this is a position where if black safely castles and white isn't crushing him, black's doing great. So if Shankland wants a big advantage, he has to strike while the iron's hot. And he did that once, and he got burned. So he stopped doing that. So he played B3, which is what Crush suggested. And then bishop B2. And H6 is okay. Probably castles is better. 500 centidues. Bart was briefly the best player in Alaska. Okay, now if you don't have a sub, if you're not a sub, I'll give you a free sub, the first non-sub to answer this question. Name the only grandmaster born in Alaska. God damn. Not even sure he was born in Alaska, but I'm still giving it to you. Drunk Monk subscribed. Good, good. Yay, you're right. Somebody was right. Yeah. GM Carburetor. Carburetor. Oh, would you help me drive this car? Da-da-da-da-da. I can't get regular gas. All right. I forgot how to give somebody a sub. That's how often I do it. I gift you, you gift me, except you don't gift me. Hooray! You win. Brian Smith. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. GM Sarah Palin. Now, she was actually born in Russia, and she snuck across the border and pretended she was from Alaska. You can tell by her politics. All right, back to whatever it is I was doing. So Castles is the best, but he played h6, very reasonable. And he just said, like, you know, is it Ashford and Simpson or Peaches and Cream? Or Peaches and Herb? Peaches and Herb or Ashford and Simpson? I don't know. I have no idea which one it is. I was going to say, he's solid. Solid like a rock. That's what his position is. Who sings that? Which one? It's either Peaches and Herb or Ashford and Simpson. I'll never know. Liver and Onions, yeah. Something. Not like. Solid as a rock. It's as, not like. I thought they said both. I thought both were I mean, obviously both would be silly. But let's have a look. It's probably because my mom always says like a rock and then questions it. Ashford and Simpson. Solid as a rock. Now let's see if they ever say solid like a rock, so I'm not embarrassed. As. The whole song is just as. There's no other lyrics. As. Yeah, tough song. Man, they say hot a lot. Man, they never say like. God damn. I've never been so embarrassed. Like I tell my mom because she's, you know. Pretty good lyrics. Not too good. Let's see, they spell separate correctly. All right. Karen's answer was solid as a rock. Damn. My mom's always saying that. I don't know why. She always sings solid like a rock, and then she goes, or maybe it's as, I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know what context she uses it in. Like when I did it, I was saying that Black's position is solid. But my mom, I think, just randomly says it. Well, we're going to see her next week, Karen. Then we can ask her, and she'll be like, solid like a rock. Because that's what she says. And then I'm innocent. That's right. Not solid like Kabul, Afghanistan, like a rock. Okay. Rook D1. Now, I like Rook D1 because I wanted to play D4. But I didn't want to take with the queen or the bishop. There were issues with both. So he played rook d1, he took with the rook. Which I actually liked, because then this rook can come into the game. Our queen's on a good square, bishop's on a good square. And Black played the excellent knight d7, rerouting the knight. The knight can't do Vishwa nothing here, but d7's great. We got all kinds of good squares. Great move. Bishop e2. Now this is funny. Depending on where the bishop goes to play f4, let's say, then you can decide where to put your knight. With the bishop on e2, the knight's better on c5 because this pawn's not defended as much as if the bishop was here. And I love this square when the rook is on d4 instead of something else because knight e6 is a good square and gains a tempo. And if we trade all the rooks, it's just going to be a draw. And that's what happened. Yeah, he always retreated, defending. I mean, I wouldn't play queen c2 or even think of queen c2. So I'm not, the engine says queen c2 is the best move. Okay, trade everything. Always trade. What? 96. Now here the engine wanted them to do this. But these guys are just strong grandmasters. They're not super grandmasters. Oh, just a second, I'll get the text. Oh, it's from Hans. He says, if I was playing either color this game, I would have resigned by now. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So Świercz didn't play bishop a3. And it was funny. They were asking Dariusz, how come you were 0-3? Then you played great the rest of the tournament. He got 2.5 out of his next 6. And he said, he was sort of down when he was 0-3. You can watch this interview. It's on the YouTube channel of the STL Chess Club. He said he was feeling down and he decided to go to the movies. If you've been to St. Louis, the Chase Hotel, which I think changed name, but they have a movie theater inside the hotel, right? And what's the movie he said he saw? They said in the interview. He saw more than one movie to lighten the mood. $432.13. Hooray. Thank you, any non-mouse. You're the best. That's right. That is the theater we went to on our first date. Grand total, $54.32.10. I wasn't going to say anything, but, the any non-mouse guy who gave me $3,000 a couple of days ago, he gave us $2,000 on the website to not cause a commotion. And I emailed him and I didn't know he'd already donated. And I said, yeah, it's good to make commotion. And then I guess he decided to give a little more. Yeah. You're anything but, hey, are you coming to the chess center tonight so we can out you? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, any non-mouse. You're the best. Man, it's like a 3-hour setup for this joke, and I can't think of the name of the movie. I thought I would figure it out while I was telling the joke. God damn it. And half of you thought it was a true story. I was like, YouTube, St. Louis Chess Club, movie theater in the Chase. I mean, I have a really good setup. So stupid. Jesus Christ. I can never remember the important part of the joke. Okay, back to the joke. Anyway, he went to the theater and they were showing a movie that he had never seen before. He even barely heard of it, Spaceballs. And he watched Spaceballs, and the key scene for him was use the Świercz. And he was like, yes, I can win this. I can win games this tournament. God damn it. Stupid idiot. Yeah, go any non-mouse. You're the best. Did anybody figure the joke out and knew it was Spaceballs? To be perfectly honest, I've never seen Spaceballs. I've seen bits of it. I've never watched the movie beginning to end. There was another movie like that which is very famous, Top Gun. That one I remember because this isn't a joke. And everybody's like, Top Gun. I'm like, all right, it's a famous movie. So many years ago, 6 or 7 years ago or more, I was like, all right. And I started watching it it was on TV or something, or I rented it, I don't know. And after 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, that's enough. I can't watch Top Gun, it's too terrible. There's some movies I actually can't watch them. I can't sit there and watch. I can't. I have to turn it off. That's one of them. Tommy Boy's one of them. Although I think I did watch Tommy Boy. I might have watched it to the end, maybe. And then a friend of mine said this was one of his top 10 movies of the year, and I rented it 20 years ago, and then I couldn't watch it. It was too terrible. After 5 minutes, I think I burned it, and then I moved so the video store couldn't find me. You know, sort of like in the episode of this isn't a joke either, but I can't think of the name. Damn, if only Spencer was here. It's a cartoon like The Incredible or The Great. Let's see. It's like there's a lot of animals living together. They sort of look like cats, maybe. What's the name of that show? Yeah, Pick of Destiny. I can't watch Pick. That was the movie. That's the Jack Black movie. I watched for 5 minutes and I couldn't watch it anymore. What's the cartoon, Spence? You like it too. What's it? No, I don't have bad taste. I have normal taste. Yeah. No, I mean, if you're really, really, really like have brain damage, then okay, maybe you would like those movies. They have a lot of brain damage. What's the television show cartoon? Finding Nemo was good. Yeah. Come on, where's Spencer? He's probably driving here. No, not BoJack Horseman. I can't even describe it. I think it's like a family of cats, and they go to school, the kids. And the dad's like a schlub, and the mom is really serious. Anybody? Go Ben, 200 centimeters. Come on, somebody help me. I'm trying to compare, that I burned the tape and I moved. Gumball, yeah, it is Gumball. Yeah, and Gumball, my favorite episode by far, well, actually, it might be my second favorite. I like the other episode too, is when they have to return to the video store, but it like gets crushed in the garbage disposal. And I was like, yeah, that's what I should have done to the Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. Like the only thing I'll never know is Top Gun, Tenacious D, or Two Broke Girls. I'm mixing genres, but I don't care. I can't watch those. They're just too terrible. They're too terrible. They're too terrible. Yeah. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah. Terrible. Yeah, Gumball's great. Yeah, of course I've seen The Room. Ridiculous. Have you seen Four Rooms? Yeah, whatever you do after the stream, go see Four Rooms. Now that's a movie. And remember, did they behave? Okay. So instead of repeating, Świercz decided to use the Świercz, and he traded everything. He was and B5 is a really good way to trade. Excellent. Look at that. Yeah. And then A4 is a good way to trade because that pawn's getting dangerous. So white won the pawn, but this is a dead draw. Opposite bishops 4-3 on the same side. Ridiculous. No winning chances. Even F6 draws. That's how drawn it is. Yeah. And even the engine doesn't say white's better. God damn. Engine's like a pawn up. It's like, nah. Just kidding. Was it a room with a view? 4 rooms? What? Let's see. Everything in the chat is crazy except Karen. She's sane. Mm-hmm. I thought Gumball had a longer name. Like it's not called Gumball. It's called something. The Adventures of Gumball, or I don't. What is it? Yeah. Go Nightbot. You serve me popcorn at the Chase. Good. Real Sports with Brian Gumball. The Amazing World of Gumball. I knew there was a word like amazing, but I couldn't think of the word. I knew it was some word that was like made it amazing. Velcro Dot. is rating with a party of 51. Give Velcro Dot a shout out. Hooray. All right, which Seinfeld character hates Velcro? They hate it. Which one? Which Seinfeld character hates Velcro? Come on. I can't get to sleep. I think about getting to sleep. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Possibly getting to sleep. Dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. 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 Dun, 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 dun. Stop it. Sorry, I'm busy. Am I busy? Come on. All right, what was I doing? Jerry's dad. That's correct. It's Jerry's dad. Yeah. The tearing sound. By the way, Jerry's dad, Barney something, R.I.P. He was a police officer in New York before he was an actor. The Worst in Chess just subscribed. Yay. And then he was on the show. He was on The Odd Couple one episode. And in the movie Arthur with Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli, you know, not the stupid one, he played Liza Minnelli's father. Dun, 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 especially at night. Dun, 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 dun. Just overkill. All right, last game. Which cartoon? The answer is Fries. That's The Simpsons. That's when he's in the comic book store guy's shop. And he wants to buy a video game, but that's the rental price, and he can't rent it because he doesn't have any. So he says, what can I get for 50 cents or 99 cents? And he gives him a McDonald's, coloring book. And he says the answer to the puzzle the answer is fries. Oh man, that was great. Vincent Minnelli, god damn, not her real dad. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, this is not a joke because I can't understand. I can't make a joke like this. Sirhan, the man convicted of assassinating Robert Kennedy in '68, gets parole after serving more than 50 years in prison. You can murder a senator who's going to be president and get parole? Damn. The legal system was tough. Yeah. Milli Vanilli. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't make that up. That's news. Okay, here's the last game of note. Rapport versus Caruana. If Fabiano won this game, since MVL's game was drawn in 3 minutes, he would actually tie for first and win on tie breaks. So he would have been declared the winner. They still would have split the money, but he would have won more money and won more rating points and been declared the champion. Okay, he played the Sicilian, playing for the win. Bishop f4 is a very unknown move. It's been played, but it's really rare. The only time I see bishop f4 is this opening trap where e5 wins a piece. Then if you take it, then queen a5 check. That doesn't work after knight c6, because after e5 I can take the knight, and okay. White's probably winning. All right. So this is actually one of the main lines that's been played a few times. And even though Fabi didn't seem to know this, he was thinking forever on every move, he seemed to get a fine position. Now, most of you would take on a7 because, I know who you guys are. Then after queen a5, you would be like doing this, and you'd be like, why can't I take the rook? And then like, oh, I'm in check. Oh, and then you'd still keep doing it. You're like, maybe I can still do it. Okay. So he played knight c3. Now he could take, but it's not his turn. Okay, so the game was sort of boring, where white just had a slight advantage and black couldn't do very much. It was just, nobody could do anything. They were just chilling. Okay, and then Fabiano said, I had all I can stands. I can't stands no more. And Rapport knows that Fabiano has to win the tournament. So he's just like, all right, play crazy and try to win, and I'll win. Usually Rapport plays crazy trying to win, but he was letting Fabi do that. So Fabi played knight h7 to trade off his dark squared bishop, because this bishop's not great and this bishop is great. And probably, we thought knight g5 might be better than bishop g5. Yeah, the engine agrees. The engine doesn't like this move, because even though the bishop's bad, it's defending the d6 pawn, which is backward and can get attacked very easily. Yeah, so Rapport's like, give me that pawn. Yeah, bishop d2, he wants to go to e1 and then hammer at this pawn. So he tripled up on the bubble up. Knight g5. Bishop e2. Probably queen e3 is better, but bishop e2 is okay. And finally, after queen e3, he got counterplay, played f5. And the engine move here is very difficult to find, and he's not going to find it, because Rapport played bishop e2 earlier, like 2 moves ago. And the engine move is bishop f3, defending everything, and now we can come in here and try to win some pawns. If we try to win some pawns now, the e-pawn's not defended. If you play f4, f3, black has a great attack. So bishop f3 does everything. Bishop f3 stops you from playing f3, defends this pawn, and now we can go here. And white is a little bit better. But he played c5, and Crush and I thought that was great, because neither one of us can count. We thought after this, like, black was sacking a pawn, but that pawn's defended sufficiently. So we're just crazy like Fox News. Okay, this is all good. f4 is good, otherwise black plays f4 and it's serious. Okay, knight e4 is good. Knight d5 is good. Everything's good. Yeah. And d4 is good, and it's just equal. The engine's like, you guys are playing great. The engine's never been so happy. Okay. In this position, Rapport played bishop f3, which is a bad move. He should just take this, and it's equal. Everybody takes everything. Take, and it's equal. And instead, Rapport plays for the win, because he's got this nice passed pawn. Plays bishop here. And Fabi plays the excellent knight g5, and then Rapport thinks forever. I guess he just underestimated this move. So now if you take the pawn, knight f3, gf3, queen g3, god damn. Bishop e2 looks really stupid because he just played bishop f3. That's like losing like 2 tempi. He found the right move, h4, and he can still hold this for a draw because he's got this pawn wrapped up. Rook d5, defending the pawn, trying to win this. This rook defends both pawns. Rook c5 maybe later. h5 is good. And here, Rapport made a very bad move. Very bad. Very bad. Yeah, it says every move draws. It says every move draws for white. A3, A4, rook F4 to trade rooks. And he plays this move, which is very close to losing. It's really bad. Okay, D3, and I think he blundered again. Yeah, now he played a very bad move. He has to go back here. It's funny that the engine is always retracting Rapport's moves. Like bishop E2, the engine's like bishop F3. Rook F1, go back to D1. The engine doesn't like the way Rapport's playing. Now he blunders rook F4. Now he might actually be lost. Maybe. Yeah, queen E6. Not the best move, but good enough. Probably queen E3 and queen E5 are better, but queen E6 is good. Rook F5 is forced. King H2 is probably not a good move. Yeah, and now this was the time control. Fabi was in bad time trouble, and now it looks like he's winning because he's threatening the queen and threatening mate if the queen moves. And if you play rook 5 to F3 to trade queens, I check you first. So Crush and I thought rook 1 F3 was the right move. And the problem with that move is I play queen E4. Now when you move your queen, D2, queen H4 check, god damn. And black's winning. He found the only move that draws here. White has one move that draws. He didn't think about it very long either. And when I say he draws, he might still be losing. But he's really losing if he doesn't play it, which is rook E1. Yeah. Now black can't take this. Now black's worse. You're not going to save your pawn. I'm already a pawn up and your king is exposed. So you have to trade queens. And then rook D4, threatening this. You can't move the D pawn right away because I can play the rook D3 or rook D5 and stop your pawn. So you have to go here. Now you're threatening to win. So he has to block it with his rook. And this position's equal material. Black has good winning chances. And what Rapport wants to do is give up a pawn here. And then when the guy takes it, win this pawn, he doesn't care if he loses this pawn because then it's 2-1. That's just a dead draw. It's like the Shankland game was 4-3 with opposite bishops. So that's what Rapport tried to do. And Fabi found this great rook D5 move to check and then go back to D5. So he played king G3, which is good. King H4. And I thought black should be winning here somehow, but I didn't see how. And what Fabi should have done is taken these pawns at some point and had this passed pawn. And I was showing a really long, complicated winning method, which Crush agreed with, but I wasn't using the engine, so maybe I'm crazy. So Fabi just threatened mate, which is fine. Threatened checkmate. Okay. Now, I thought black would win if he did this. If he played this, if white gets behind the pawn like you're supposed to, okay, then you play here. If you go here and here, you're winning because the king is out of play. The king gets back just in time to stop, that from happening. And what happens on rook A8? Oh, G5 is probably... G5 doesn't look like it's winning. G5 definitely isn't winning. Yeah. So we have to actually play king G8 first. Rook A8 might just draw here. A3, king G3. Yeah, that's just a draw. The engine is saying black has a almost winning position. That is incorrect. The engine's just wrong. Yeah, this is actually an immediate draw. Yeah. Yeah, the engine thinks this gives good winning chances or is winning. It's just wrong. Yeah. Without this pawn, this is a draw. All right, now the engine's thinking about it and saying, all right, never mind. Ivan Karamazov. Yeah. So maybe that line wasn't winning, but I'll show you what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking. I didn't see rook A8. Is you play king here, and you run your king over to B8. This is the standard way you win these positions. Then you walk your king up to the king side. Break on through to the king side. Okay. And we get this position. And the idea is if white doesn't do anything, like here, I'm going to give you my A pawn. And then not king takes, but rook here. And then I'm going to take this and this. Yeah. Although maybe with the king on G2 I can take. No, I can't. Rook A7 draws. And I thought this was winning. Now I'm not so sure. The engine's saying this. This seems like it's winning. The engine doesn't think it's winning. Huh. Maybe it's not, because if I ever play rook here, you check and take this pawn. But I thought I could play rook here and then king here. Why doesn't that win? Yeah, why doesn't this win? What am I missing? Oh, rook F5. So you can just keep attacking this pawn, and if I hide my king, you play rook F5. Ivan Karamazov gifted another sub. Thank you, and subscribed. So probably that didn't work. Yeah. Probably this doesn't win then. Okay, so Fabi did this, and he tried to keep the pawns on the board. And this was amazing. In this position, which I thought Fabi was playing the right way, get his king involved. I thought Rapport was going to play G5 to like trade pawns. He played here, and he's like, play king F7. I dare you. I double dare you. Do they speak English in king F7? And Fabiano's like, all right. And this was just brilliant. I mean, this was great what Rapport did here. It might be the only move that draws. That's what the engine's saying. Engine could be wrong. Rook E2. Stopping the king, but that's not the point. The point is, I want to check. If you go back, then I want to play for checkmate. That's why the rook's on E2. So, I mean, this move's just great. Yeah, now you can't win. Yeah, the only move that tries to win is king back to G8 and get your king back there. But that's going to be a draw. I'll play B6 and I'll draw. Yeah. So they repeated and drew. This move also draws, but what black looks like he could be in trouble. But G5 check is the only move that draws. And then either move draws. And the reason is I just go check, 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 and that's it. You can't, there's nothing you can do. Oh, I didn't check. I typoed. You just leave your rook on E8 and you check with the other rook, and you can't block with, you can't do anything. It's just a draw. So Fabi could have done that also, but instead he blocked with the rook, which is the other legal move. Then he defended his pawn, and that's a draw. Okay. Yeah, he didn't play king G8. He played here, and yeah. So Fabi had good winning chances in that game twice. Very resourceful defense from Rapport. And the game should have been drawn earlier, but Rapport, I think, was trying to win because Fabi was in time trouble. And then he almost lost as a consequence. Frankly, terrible. So 5 draws in the last round and so forth. Mainly and so forth. Let's see. Levy, Alekine. There was a 4 versus 4 that was won about, I want to say about 7 years ago, but I don't remember what year it was. Ponomarev versus Carlsen in a rapid tournament. It was rook and 4 against rook and 4, and Carlsen won. He was like very, very, very slightly better. And it was drawn forever, and then finally Ponomarev cracked. Former world chess champion Ponomarev. Frankly, ridiculous. All right, thanks for watching. I got to go direct the Blitz tournament and see if my stepson's still alive and see if they're doing the pairings right and, see how many pairs I have left in the club and so forth, mainly and so forth. Let's see. I raid you. You raid me. There's only one person I'm following who's doing chess right now. And they're not even a person. So, but we're like that, son. All right, see you guys tomorrow. I'll be playing Sub Saturday and Sub Sunday the next 2 games. And don't forget,